Hey everyone, you're here with Mark on Perfect Gardens TV. So I got another great question. So he asks, why do I recommend not to use Sledgehammer for flushing? So let's get into real quick what is Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer is a natural blend of various plant compounds that have been known to help break down salts. So that's what it is. And if you understand what's in liquid fertilizer and you understand all the heavy metals that are in those bottles, and you understand that our plants are bioaccumulators, so they're going to accumulate whatever type of soil biology that is in the soil, and they're going to take it up and store it or process it or use it, and that's how they grow. Also, if you have followed along around this channel for a while, we've also come to the realization that there are no benefits on flushing your soil at the end of your growth for your plant. There are benefits to flushing your soil from excess salts if you plan to reuse your soil, but there are no benefits. It will not make the plant healthier. It will actually just force early cannibalization of the plant, which will end up hurting your overall yield and quality. So once you understand that aspect, you have to ask yourself, what's the actual purpose of Sledgehammer? Well, I mean, I could see if you're having excess salts build up in your soil because you over fertilize or you're using a super salty fertilizer line that is recommending too much salt in the first place, which is why I find when you look at the Fox Farm line, they've actually created 3 products that are very similar. I think it's Sledgehammer, Kangaroo, and one other one. They do similar things from breaking down salts to helping nutrient uptake. And I find it interesting with these 3 bottles because they're like recommending you to use multiple bottles to break down salts throughout the grow. But why is the plant in the first place having excess salts? I mean, why wouldn't they just recommend people to use less of it, especially if there's excess happening and it's known to happen, and they need to add 3 separate products in their recommended nutrient feeds to help handle the excess salt buildup? I think there's deeper questions that need to be asked about the fertilizer line, Fox Farm, how they recommend people to use it, and is it causing people to spend more money than what they actually need to use it? Am I saying that you don't need to use a product like this? Well, you do if you're using a fertilizer in a system that is known to accumulate salt buildup, right? Because those salt buildup will accumulate around the root system, causing excess or deficiency depending upon kind of what ends up happening throughout the grow. So to use Sledgehammer, though, it's cost you roughly, if you go online, you could buy a quart-sized bottle of Sledgehammer for around $30, and it makes up roughly around 48 gallons of nutrients. I should double check, but I believe it makes up around 48 gallons of mixed nutrients. That comes down to roughly 67 cents per gallon that you're mixing up to use this, right? This product. For me, it's not that I don't recommend to use this product. I just recommend to use a much less expensive product that does so many more things than just breaks down salts. Because remember, guys, the harshness in the smoke is not because of excess salt buildup. It's because the plants have bioaccumulated the heavy metals that are in these liquid fertilizer bottles, and because they were unable to be processed and used, are now being stored in the trichomes of the plant, which is what we're going after, and it causes irritation in the back of the throat and causes a coughing or dry mouth or cotton mouth, whatever, experience. So a product that I would recommend, you've been on the channel, I'm going to recommend it. It's called Drops of Balance. If you purchase the 32-ounce bottle, which is the larger size, for $109, it makes up 1,000 gallons of nutrients. And it just doesn't help break down salts, but it also helps convert these heavy metals back into a non-soluble form. So they precipitate out of the water, and then they get converted to a sulfate mineral. And then they become nutrient unavailable because they can't be dissolved into actual water. So when you do the math on that, 109, that makes up 1,000 gallons of water, you're now paying to clean your water, to break down excess salts, to remove a toxic material, and to add trace minerals, which are essential for soil biology. It comes down to 11 cents a gallon, right? I mean, you're saving roughly 72 to 75% of your money instantly in your pocket by just using a product that just doesn't help break down salts, but it actually helps increase the quality and overall yield of your plants because you're giving coenzymes to the bacteria so they can produce enzymes, which is the key to growing. Anyways, have a great grow, everyone.